can't stand for another day when you live so many miles away. There's nothing here gonna make me stay. You took me over, let me find a way. Sold my house, I sold my motor too. All I want is to be next to you. I'd rob a bank and maybe steal a plane. You took me over, I think I'm going insane. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. I've had 1,000 girls or maybe more, but I've never felt like this before. But I just don't know what's come over me. You took me over, take a look at me. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. Solo. Leave that part out. So many times I used to give a sign. Got this feeling gonna lose my mind. When it's all, it's just a love affair. You took me over, baby, take me there. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. And you, 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 and you. All I want, or next to you, that's what it's called, from the Police. I'm sort of on a early Police kick now. I wonder what album that is from. Does anyone know? I think it's gonna be Outlandos d'Amour, but let's find out real quick, shall we? Otherwise, how's everyone doing today? Huh? It's kind of smoky again today. Anyway, sitting out here, I can kind of smell the plastic in the air. And but I did see is the another eagle this morning. I remember I was lamenting the fact that I didn't see any eagles recently, and it says here that next year was the last song that the Police played live together. Anyway, they didn't think it was political enough. Doesn't sound political at all to me. So I saw another bald eagle fly over across the lake shore this evening. And yesterday I was over at my parents' house, and my dad was showing me some work they were having doing on the front of the house. And you can probably hear the heavy machinery jackhammering in the distance here. It's this neighborhood. It seems like every other house is having work done on it, pouring cement, jackhammering, building structures of all sorts. That's beside the point. It just seems like a hobby, I guess. Maybe it's a status symbol to have renovation underway. And so we're standing out in the front line. My dad kind of turns around, oh, look, a bald eagle. And this bald eagle flew right diagonally across their yard, only a few dozen yards up. And it was followed by like this flotilla, no, what would it be, squadron, a murder of crows, about half a dozen of them. It was really quite cool. They weren't harassing the eagle, and the eagle's, almost 3 times as large as them. And they just sort of glided onto their business. But do you realize that I only have a few scant hours here left in this part of the world, in the Pacific Northwest. And so, if you're itching to get together, don't hesitate, because I've got postcards. See, instead of having to send you a postcard from afar, I can just give it to you in person. See, they're hand signed, so these are all legit. They're all singular examples of some of my artwork. This is from the Inktober 2017 series. Inktober is currently underway, as you can imagine, but I am working on my website, paulbagnulo.com or paulbenulo.com, as I like to say. Go and check it out, and I'd appreciate any feedback. It's still under construction, as you'll see. And so I'm working on that instead of participating in this year's Inktober. Inktober is where they give you a word and you make a drawing every day based on that word. This one, for example, is graceful. Get it? Grace Jones, graceful. And here's a commissioned piece called part of the Cardiovascular Vitruvian Man series. I'm getting that together on my website. Go check it out. Here's another one. Same series. And here's another Inktober one. This one was kind of cool. This was a photograph of a gal in a mask, a model I should say, in a mask that I made, and then I made a drawing of the photo. Very nice. Here's the famous mantis shrimp. It has the best eyesight in the world, meaning, or the best in the sense of being able to perceive the most number of colors. I don't know how they figured that out, but apparently that's the case. And also, when it snaps its claws, it creates lightning. And here's one called Rubisha, which is around the corner. This was the first in the series, the Les Toits de Paris, as I like to say, or the Rooftops of Paris series. So, if you're in town, in the Seattleplex area, and you'd like to get together and you'd like to get your hand on a postcard, give me a shout. I'll be right there about. So thanks everyone for coming by. What's going on? Did you see the moon last night? It was hung low on the horizon above the treetops, and it was a pumpkin orange crescent. What's going on? Don't be shy if you have anything to add to the conversation. I'm all ears. We only got a few minutes left here, so we'll go through this again, huh? I can't stand it for another day when you live so many miles away. There's nothing here gonna make me stay. You took me over, let me find a way. I sold my house, I sold my motor too. All I want is to be next to you. I'd rob a bank and maybe steal a plane. You took me over, I think I'm going insane. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. I've had 1,000 girls and maybe more, but I've never felt like this before. But I just don't know what's come over me. You take me over, take a look at me. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. Solo. So many times I used to give a sign. Got this feeling gonna lose my mind. When it all is just a love affair. You took me over, baby, now take me there. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. All I want is to be next to you. Yes, I'd like to be next to every one of you, now and forever.